Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis, here to bring you magic makers from around the globe, people who are creating change, who have small businesses, large businesses, hobbies, but they are creating the life of their dreams. And that, my friends, is what living is all about. So let us know how you like this episode. Please subscribe, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining. All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. And I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis, here, your transformational lifestyle and business coach for creative women in mid-career, mid-life, mid-change, ready to step into more of their glory, their creative juices. If you are on the verge of becoming, that's what I like to say. It's the next phase. It's the next thing. And that's what I do. And I love to bring you people like our guest today. Greta Foster is here with us. So good. And she's going to tell you more about what she does, but she is, I don't know how many of you know what Fengshui is, but she's going to tell you a little bit more about that. And that's what she does. And I love that. I love the magic of just diving into all the tools, all the possibilities to help us become more of who we are and how we live and where we live, right? So anyway, welcome, Greta. Welcome, everybody, to another
episode. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. And I just want to say Greta was so gracious this morning because all of a sudden I got invited to go on a 5K marathon, at 9 o'clock last night. And we had this 11 o'clock, we had this time frame booked for our thing. And I said, I'm going on this run. And she's like, go.
And please, yes, you're right off the couch going to run a marathon.
Yeah.
How amazing.
And I got back in time and here we are. And it was glorious. It was glorious. So anyway, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm so happy to have you here. So let's talk about you and what you do. And then let's talk about what Feng Shui is for those of us who may not know what it is. I imagine if you are here, you probably do know what it is, but we are here for education and enlightenment. So,
very
right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. And on that note, I am an educator. I've been in the classroom for over 20 years working with school age kids. And then about 10 years ago, I started to build my business and my understanding of Feng Shui, and to the point where, I'm educating students at any age. Like you said, there's change can happen. People are in between, and in a lot of ways, we're collectively in the in-between right now, where we're navigating epic changes and trying to find new ways to ground ourselves. And looking at the holistic picture has always been a passion of mine. My personal health and wellness, my growth journey, becoming a mom, and just a lot of my experiences in life culminate into where I am now, and honoring every aspect of that, pulling in things from various modalities, again, when you need them, and just being a lifelong learner. I would say that's really what has kept me going with Feng Shui and developing the fullest understanding of it that I can.
So where were you, and how did Feng Shui come into your life?
So I would say in high school, I was very religious. I was very Catholic. I was, raised and educated Catholic. And one thing that I do remember standing out, was theology. And, even though we're practicing and devout Catholics, we're also learning different ideologies and different theologies, Gaia and Earth Mother ideas, I would say at that point. The study of Buddhism was definitely part of my youth, and following what happened with the Tibetan monks. And, now I practice a Buddhist feng shui. And so there's a very much a strong threads of spirituality in it. And that's kind of where it's become a theme.
I love that. So, I mean, is there really separate varieties of feng shui? You say Buddhist feng shui. I've never heard of that before.
Yes, ma'am. So there's the compass feng shui is a lot of the technical side of it. And it's also where you get feedback like your bed should be facing east, north, south, or west. And that's based on directions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know that much about it, but from what I hear, that's constraining, because what if like your partner is south facing and you're better west, and how does that work out with your bed placement?
Or you can only have one way to put your bed.
Right. Yeah. And individuals have particulars still, but what we do is it's more relational. So like the north would be the front of the house, and then the south would be the back of the house, and it's based on wherever you enter the space. So from the door in, and so that's where the Buddhists also went through it went through India on its way to America. So it's been adapted to meet all faiths for one thing, and it's much easier to practice.
So it's based on where your front door is. And
or any door to any room. You can apply the concept infinitely. You can apply it to your desk. Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to dig more into the specific Buddhist is you have 9 quadrants in that room, in your house, however you're applying it, there's 9 quadrants, and those each connect to a different energy, which could be expressed in different ways, largely balance of yin and yang. That would be taking the next step is it's this much yang, this much yin. When you first walk in the door, right there, you're going to have kind of like a burst of energy. That's your mouth of chi, is your front door. And then each quadrant relates to a theme in your life as you extrapolate it from that balance to an elemental representation like a mountain or fire or a tree. And then from that, it's like, okay, this is tree energy, but it's also about connection to family and putting down your roots and growing your money tree. And so those would all have a specific allocation in your house in terms of where that energy is supported.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you recognize and work with it, you strengthen those elements in your space and the themes in your life.
Mm.
So it's very heady. It's very much that perspective on life. That Buddhism would be another one. It's a perspective on life. But yeah, this is going down to the foundation of that. So it's just a lot of legs, go a lot of directions with it.
Mm-hmm. So how did you turn this? So you were in high school and you studied all these things. How did you turn this into a business?
Okay, so yes.
Art and hustle, right? This is
right.
Your passion. You were
The
following
hustle.
something.
Yes. So I went into college and I became an art student at that point, studying art. I was a fine painter. And so keeping with that creative juice, keeping the creative juices going. And then coming to, it's kind of interesting, it was the art of placement, basically. And then life takes twists and turns. You become a homemaker at some point in your life, perhaps. probably if you're doing feng shui, you're doing homemaking, you're doing peacemaking in the home, but out of a desire to make things efficient and do things right. I started kind of with the practical aspects of it. And also wanting to work in wellness and health and find my niche. This was kind of one of the avenues that people weren't really headed. But, it's like yoga for your home. And I did have probably, 10 solid years of dedicated, committed yoga and meditation in my own spiritual journey. And the awareness and enlightenment that brings. So it just really has become a lifestyle. Integrating my business, managing with family, being comfortable with slow and steady growth. These are the type of things that I'm kind of hitting my stride with now.
And how many years has that been?
So I started in 2009 in 600 square feet. And, we moved into a home, we've, flipped the home. Now I'm back in city life, which is a little more, I went from rural to city, and it's just.
And where are you?
I'm actually in Tahoe area.
Okay.
In Reno. So yeah. Yeah.
So you started in 2009. So well, of course, COVID probably changed everything, which I love that you have virtual Feng Shui, right?
Yes. It challenged the business, like everyone's business, but it also contributed to the relevance of what we're doing as people are moving more attention towards the homes and
Oh yeah, right.
Yes,
right.
and using
Oh my
them in
gosh,
different ways.
What a kind of a little gold mine for you.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really in a place to like capitalize on that, and to some extent, I feel like it's, again, that was the chance for it to become a quick fad and go away again. But in terms of intentional living and yes, intentional living, creating a space to support your growth, those type of ideas are not going away. And even meditation, these are all really important new skills that people probably would want to learn to cope with the added stresses of today.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's definitely something I preach.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it needs to be heard. And even the younger generations, we're learning, but they need this too. All the, attention deficits and anxiety and depression is more like in the older generations, I would say, but the anxiety about the future and giving them something that they could work with to make their future, to visualize and intentionally create the life they want to live, which the chaos provides the freedom for, but it's also very stressful.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. I was listening to a podcast yesterday about how, because of all the beautiful modern technology, how hard it has become for people to focus.
Focus is a good one. Yes.
Whew.
Very
Holy
true.
crap. And it's this, it's like, right? It's always looking in this, and the inability to focus. And that means the inability to be present, which is why meditation is so important. And of course, I always, my three things are meditate, percolate, and dance break, which is about meditation and journaling and moving your body.
Oh yeah. Staying in the flow, allowing the energy to flow through you, that's very, very good for mental and physical health.
Well, and creative health.
And creativity is a huge part of Feng Shui too, is creative. That's the juice. That's what keeps it going. And there's a
What feeds your
quote.
soul?
Yes, totally. And really, if you progress without building, things tend to break down. And so that's just how it works.
So do you feel so in the Feng Shui world,
Mhm.
setting your home or your root or whatever you want to call it, is that the basis of how you grow and expand?
So that's the scaffold. The house becomes the scaffold that reinforces your personal growth, which, like you were saying, so many places want to grab our attention. But when we're able to direct our focus and effectively reprogram our subconscious, that's when the growth happens, is getting more in flow, removing obstacles to our growth, to our naturally unfolding development as a human being. And the mindset, like you said, it doesn't come without hard work. And you have to get yourself on the journey.
Right.
And in terms of your home, again, that's where you rest and restore. I think that would be the percolate. What comes after percolate?
Dance break.
Dance break. Oh. And so, resting and restoring is kind of where I was going to. And that's kind of the percolation stage, I guess, is you have to kind of sit with stuff and allow this bit to unfold.
Absolutely. Allow. And then after that is about to receive it.
Right. And blocks to your abundance and receiving. And that's getting a lot towards the feminine energy, the yin, the passion, the love, relationships, and understanding where we're guarding ourselves and where we need to be healed. And you could look in your house and say, oh, there's the closet where I dump everything I don't want to deal with.
Oh, how many of you have one of those?
Right? I mean, a clutter drawer is
normal right now.
Yeah, your desk, you're like, oh geez. And you could say, okay, what energy does that connect to? And it's like, oh, that's my creative energy. That's my ability to feel joy. And I'm feeling stuck. I'm going to go and clean that up and do myself a favor instead of treating it like a chore. Here's where you're finding magic in the mundane, the things you would normally do with a gruff and a sigh. You're now like, you understand that it's affecting your energy, and you're in control of your energy too.
Oh, I love what you just said, magic in the mundane.
Yeah, it is so true.
And so good. I want to live with everyday magic, but that doesn't mean it has to be this spectacular, hoo-ha or whatever.
Right.
And just to live in everyday awe and splendor and magic and create it as you want it.
Yes, putting in your work, putting in your intention, but also allowing magic, and the mystery. That's a very faith term. It's just being comfortable with not knowing. And so you can have goals, you can, meet them, but in terms of not knowing, allowing for other things to come in.
I'm taking tons of notes here. That was beautiful. Oh my God. People, are you listening? This is so good.
It really is good. Yeah.
It's really good. So let me ask you this. As an entrepreneur, so you have a family, you have kids, and you're doing a lot of virtual work. What's been the hustle? What's been hard for you to move forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think this is balancing what I'm creating, what my dreams are, and then my normal life.
They got to be together.
And they're coming together, but it's like, you can't have the same bank account. You have to have
Oh, man.
specific systems in place so that and a lot of it's been one step in front of the other. Like, okay, now I gotta, like today, install my microphone, and there's people along the way that you meet that inspire you to just do it a bit better. And I think that's a huge one with Feng Shui, is people don't want to be like called out for doing it wrong, or like they weren't raised right. They don't know how to do their stuff. But it really is not like that. And people inspire you to do it better in different ways that you never thought of. And so in
Which means we need each other.
the connection piece, yes, 100%. And there is a collective consciousness, which, as you look at your space and start to think about how you're thinking about things, how you arrange things, what is the evidence of your existence, you start to clue into this evolution of thought and of being and of thinking and doing, things just a little bit better.
Mhm.
And yeah, so advancing living conditions is a huge part of this. And there is an advocacy to what I do where, community leaders can be also doing it better and attending to basic needs of people. And there is the power in the collective again, is that we have to kind of agree on this ideal picture of what we want. And normal people prefer peace to war. I think there's some basic universal principles. Yeah, there's some basic things that we can get along that doesn't have to be associated with a religion, but it can still be good and positive. So if that made sense. Yeah.
So good. Okay, so this is awesome. What's next for you?
So yeah, I've been working on my public speaking tour, which has been mostly virtual at this point. I'm working on my programs to teach to audiences in the universities and leadership when it's available. I'm doing a lot of networking, basically with leaders and with residents, and getting people connected to this perspective, get them working on it in their lives. So I'm I have a lot of this going, but I also am very client focused and building my client base, which includes spiritual communities, is people who are really ready to start making a difference in their world, in their micro community and their home, even their family. So plugging along, I guess.
Okay. Beautiful. I love it. And so you have something to offer our people?
Yeah, so we're doing a price break, I think, on the virtual property report. So yes, you guys out there, listen to this. This is awesome. You got to take Greta up on her offer. Right. So it's pretty quick and easy. You submit photos we'll give you a worksheet. You take, anywhere from 9 to 12 pictures of your house, send it in, and you'll get I think it's a 3-page report on the energy of your home and how you can start installing Feng Shui right away. All of those are done according to your own time and budget, and people work with their preferred service providers. So if you're going to decide to do an accent wall to boost your money this year, now that tax season is right around the corner, a little boost.
Yeah, let's not talk about taxes. No.
Yeah, right? Just doing them is like the worst. but you would contract with your local painters, and we're also appealing to service providers to join our network, so that if you are in the spiritual community or you do home or health services, we do free advertising in our newsletters, which come out once a month, and that's your ongoing support once you do get the property report, or really if you just sign up on our website, you'll start to enter the premium tier where we give prompts once a month on things you can do to start feng shuiing right away.
Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you for that. What a great offer for all of my people out there in Heart and Hustle Land. So this has been a super inspired, quick and juicy conversation, but so important, and how to make change, how to create change to benefit you, but also to help you stand up in your power and your presence.
Yes.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah, gorgeous. So thank you, Greta.
Oh, thank you. It was so nice to see you today. And
I
I'm
know.
so like inspired by your 5K. My gosh, I think I've done a 10K once, but off the couch. I mean, you just were like, I'm going to do a marathon.
Yeah. And I mean, it was short, but it was gorgeous. And I love it. And I love walking. I love running. I love being outside. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's really what feeds me, feeds my heart, feeds my body, feeds my soul, so that I can do this. So I can do
so vibrant. Yes, very nice.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody, thank you for being in our audience out there. And please, I will have all of Greta's information and contact information down below. So please connect with her and her community and her offer, and you know, step into empowering your home and your place and your work and with Feng Shui, and you know, get the energies running and the juices running, right?
Yes, bring in all that, vibrant chi, all that life force that you can gather into your space and get it to work for you.
Love it.
We need it. We need a little extra.
We need it. And I'm taking her up on her offer. So.
Better. Yes, I told you.
Yeah, so good. All right, my friends, thanks for being here. And I am Paulette Rees-Denis. Please subscribe on SoundCloud or YouTube or in my website, which is www.paulettereesdenis.com. And give some reviews and some feedback on these interviews, because this is beautiful. Are you taking a picture of us?
I'm taking a selfie.
I love it.
An ussy. Yeah.
An ussy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. We look so good.
Selfies.
It's all good. Oh, great.
Right.
And so again, thank you for being here. Until we meet again, many blessings. Mwah.